Welcome to the Basket Buds edition of the Athletic NBA Show podcast on the Athletic Podcast Network. I'm your host, Zach Harper. We got Dave DeFore producing. We got Jay King. We got Mo Dakhil. Trevon Edwards out. James Edwards III out. If your last name has Edwards in it, Anthony Edwards might not play today. I guess you would have found that out by the time you listened to this on Monday morning, but who knows? He was like questionable. Who knows? He might be out too. Everyone with Edwards might be out. What's not out? The Athletic NBA Show YouTube page. Subscribe to that. What's not out is The Bounce, a free newsletter to your email box every damn morning, Monday through Friday, from yours truly and Shams Charania. What's not out is this rundown we got, guys. We're going to have Jay King's Minute. KD and LeBron are back this week. The Mavs are completely melting down. But first, we start with an epic battle between two of the three MVP candidates on Saturday. Giannis in Denver against Nikola Jokic. And while everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, look at the stat lines. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jamal Murray did this. Oh, no. Where's the help for Giannis in this game? Oh, Denver blows him out in the second half. Oh, what? Blah, blah, blah. It might have been ended by Jeff Green, 36-year-old Jeff Green. Jeff Green, who has had heart surgery before, coming out there and yakking all over Giannis. This wasn't a Brandon Knight situation where Giannis was late on a rotate. Giannis was there. He was at the rim, and Jeff Green said, my guy's the MVP because I'm ending your season right here. And he dunked all over him. Stop doubting what Jeff Green can do. He does this every couple of months, and then someone on some stupid social media app would run some account that just takes content from other places and passes off as their own. It's like, Jeff Green did what? He does this every damn time. So, Mo, did Jeff Green at least eliminate Giannis from the MVP debate?
I think so. I think you have to look at it that way. It wasn't even close. It was so nasty. They showed so many different replays of it. They showed it was like 5 minutes of replays from different angles. Yeah. It was hilarious, but it was also filthy. It's everything you said, Zach. He was there under the rim. He wasn't coming in a rotation. Yeah. And Green just came down.
The left hand part was crazy.
Yeah. It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
Like he does that dunk all the time. Like that's his dunk, right? Yeah. Like just throw your hand as high in the air as it goes and slam on someone's neck. But the left hand over Giannis?
And I feel like with him, it's usually coming off 1 foot too. Like he planted 2 feet, left hand, dunked all over him. Like usually it's kind of just that one where he comes looping in and then just drops the hammer on him. But that was nasty. That was so good.
Right then, the game should have been over. You know, when everybody runs on the court and it's over, like the game
I think that should be allowed. Yeah, that should be allowed.
First of all, he had to beat Drew Holiday off the dribble. Just to get to Giannis, you got to beat Drew Holiday off the dribble.
Yeah, he looked like Jamel Pugh out there. You know,
just flies at age 36. Is Jeff Green like the best 36-year-old dunker that we've seen? Like, has there been
LeBron's pretty good.
Dunker?
LeBron's pretty athletic.
But LeBron does.
LeBron does.
How many posters does he have though? Like, I feel like he tries to just lay up on people when he's in traffic.
Yeah, everyone gets out of the way.
When was the last LeBron poster?
That's a great question.
Because a lot of his dunks now are in transition.
He reaches way back
and all that stuff. Or it's like when he has a clear lane. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the last LeBron post. There might have been one this year, and I just don't remember. But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like LeBron just does it normally, whereas Jeff Green, like you kind of forget he exists until he just goes nuclear on someone's neck.
Do not rotate against him. That's my advice. Free advice right there. Don't rotate if Jeff Green's coming down the lane. You're on the wrong end of a.
That wasn't even much of a rotation. Like Giannis was kind of standing there.
No, he was there.
Yeah. Oh,
he was
there.
And Jeff Green just decided, you know what? Like I'm gonna go for it. It doesn't matter that he's standing right under the hoop.
A normal human being would go, nope. Where's the pass? And Jeff Green said, nope. I'm going to test you. The flip side, though, if Giannis gets the block, are we saying it's just another day for Giannis, or is that?
Ooh, they still lose the game, right? They still lose by like 20. They still get blown out in the second half, but Giannis has put up the same amount of points as Jokic in a game, and really it's like kind of Jamal Murray got going, and so maybe I think Giannis is still in it at that point. you know?
So if that block decided everything, that will have changed all the voters.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I got a little bone to pick with Mo here, in which he said, got to get these out of the game. Grifting is not a part of basketball. And it's on the Chris Paul like kick out leg against PJ Tucker Saturday night.
Which should have been an offensive foul. We agree on that.
Absolutely been an offensive foul, because I think we saw that called the day before. I can't remember which game, but someone.
But they also called it a similar play in the Denver game where Murray just jumped right.
That's actually 100% what I'm thinking of. Is that jump into the
jumped right into the guy, and they called it the offensive foul,
which is what it's supposed to be now, right?
Yeah, which was the correct call.
But most saying grifting is not part of basketball. 67% of this MVP race, if we're still counting Giannis in it, is grifting.
No, so now it's 100%.
now it's 100%. 100% of it is grifting, because Embiid and Jokic grift constantly. It was so funny last night. Like I don't really want.
Jokic isn't that much of a grifter.
Are you fucking high?
I'm not putting him in the same.
I'm
not putting him in the same sentence as Embiid in that category.
Okay, so 1-2 instead of 1A 1B. Jokic, look, if
Austin Reeves, Trae Young.
Okay, you know what? Also in the MVP conversation, so it's still 100%.
I mean, right? That's who replaces Giannis.
Giannis
got knocked out. Austin Reeves comes in. Why is LeBron coming back? They have Austin Reeves. LeBron's got to come off the bench.
Why do we have to pretend this isn't the case with Jokic? Like we all recognize that Embiid grifts, right? He embellishes, he's a flopper, and it works to his advantage. Like it seems to be okay. I mean, other than James Harden, it seems to be okay to do it offensively. Jokic does the same shit. Like watching the Denver broadcast last night, there was a play in the first half where he's going against Brook Lopez. He's going against Brook Lopez. And Lopez, like as he's kind of like backing him in and kind of a soft drive against him, taking his time. Lopez hits him once, hits him twice. Jokic then elbows him in the face. And then Lopez fouls him a third time, and I think the third time got called, or maybe the next possession a foul got called. I can't remember. But the Denver broadcast like, oh, he hits him, and then they got real silent on the replay when Jokic hits him in the face with the elbow. But like that's part of physical basketball, being a big man, and they both do it really well.
Yeah, there's a lot of tit for tat. And Zach, I think you're right in the sense of we do give Jokic a bit of a pass on the grifting side of it. And I just think overall, I just want to see a lot of the grifting get cut down. Yeah. In general, the kick outs on threes when you've missed the shot, because that's really what
that happens. One actually bothers me way more than any of the Embiid Jokic grifting is the kick out on the
three. Who's become a real grifter is Damian Lillard.
Oh, Dave's a big grifter, man. Dave's a big grifter.
But no one really leaned
into games anymore.
Like he learned how to do it, and he kind of put that. You can tell he really worked at it.
Mm-hmm. And it's just impossible to
Luke
defend.
Is a big grifter.
Luke, I mean, we can go through the list. Like Dave put it in
all
the
great players.
67% of the league is
most
grifting.
Of them are.
You know? But I just think we're getting to the point where it's just impossible to defend, and that's why I was so happy when they called the offensive foul on Murray. It was a dumb play, but I was like, yes, thank you.
Back when he was still alive. Am I being ignorant by saying Giannis isn't a grifter? Because I feel like Giannis is just a battering ram who gets a lot of calls, not fabricates a lot of calls through grifting.
Giannis,
you're right.
But he gets a lot of credit when people bounce off of him. He gets the benefit of the doubt more than
sure.
He should.
Like I'm not saying the foul calls are necessarily always correct.
I love how we've taken the MVP race and we've just turned it into like bitching about people hunting for fouls.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Jay, there is a problem with officiating right now. It is all over the league.
But you know what? This is like far less toxic than any other MVP conversation.
Oh, yeah. We're like, all these guys are grifters. Yes. Except for Giannis is like but Giannis got destroyed by Jeff Green, so he's not a part of the conversation.
Zach, Giannis is an honest basketball player.
He is. I'm an honest podcaster. He's an honest basketball player.
And Liam Neeson's an honest thief.
Oh,
and I think that's but I just think what happens with officiating with Giannis is there are a lot more that should be called charges that end up being called blocks with him.
I think there are wrong calls in his favor, but I don't think he's grifting. But I think he's just like, grifting. I'm going to throw myself into it. Yeah.
He's, as you said, perfect thing. Just a battering ram. When he comes down the lane, good luck.
Oh, SWAT team coming through the front door. Like that is what he is. Just they're like the Bucks are just using him as a battering ram, throwing him into the
truck
tank.
with the ram, the tank thing.
Oh
with
yeah,
the ram thing. Like that's Giannis.
Yes.
Is Kyrie the only like great player who doesn't go out of his way to seek fouls sometimes?
I think so. That's actually a really good question.
Like he really, really tries not to get fouled and like goes and tries to do like super ridiculous layups.
Yeah, because he's just doing cool shit, right?
Go get free throw attempts. Yeah,
that's a good question. I think so.
He's one of them. And I always thought it was to his detriment. Like, if he got a few more free throws a game, it would actually help him a lot.
Steph
versus trying to do super.
Steph
grifts a little bit, but
he grifts some. I think KD grifts some, but I also think KD doesn't launch himself into guys. He does the rip through.
Dave in the chat makes a great point. Steph's just bad at flopping. Like he's really bad at he doesn't know how. Like he really doesn't know how. Like he's so bad at it. He'll try it every once in a while, and the refs are like, "Come on, man. Like this isn't gonna work for you. This is bad."
Like somebody actually has to be near you for you to flop. Like
that. But then we appreciate it on defense, right? We actually do appreciate grifting on defense because someone might have gotten a whole Defensive Player of the Year award based off of that last season. Who knows?
I mean Jay King's a Dylan Brooks fan. He definitely appreciates grifting on defense.
I appreciate all types of grifting. Honestly, if you're not grifting, you're not trying to win.
I hate it though, man. It's ruined. It's not ruining the game, but it just sucks.
It's just not fun.
Yeah,
everybody's got to do it. You got to try to get the call.
Chris Paul should get a flagrant retroactively for that kick out last night on PJ Tucker. That was egregious.
And as Chris is getting older, the grifting is getting higher because he can't get by anybody.
Oh my God.
Today's show is brought to you by Chime. Visit chime.com/NBA show for more information. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Is it checking up on your credit score? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, at Chime, that's exactly what they do for you. With their secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can start to build credit with your own money. Chime reports your payments to credit bureaus to help you build credit over time. Their members see an increase of 30 points on average. All of this with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit checks to apply. So start your credit journey with Chime. Sign up, only takes 2 minutes, and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/NBA show. That's chime.com/NBA show. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply except at MoneyPass ATMs, in a 7-Eleven, or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM.
All right, let's move on to, as this game is happening, I said on NBA radio earlier this morning that, I guess earlier Sunday morning, that the Mavs are in a season on the line game today. And you're just like, oh, they're playing Charlotte. What's the big deal? Well, they lost to Charlotte recently. They have been atrocious. To steal some patois from the internet, the vibes are terrible in Dallas.
What is patois?
Look it up.
I like to put the podcast on a screeching halt to get a glossary.
You don't have a thesaurus or a dictionary? P-A-T-O-I.
How do you even spell patois?
Yes, I already knew you didn't know that one.
P-A-T what?
The show is off the rails.
So I thought it was
I like
patois.
that Jay was like, we'll keep it tight today, man. Like 30 minutes. And now like already Jay's what's patois?
I thought it was patois, P-A-T-O-I-R. And I swear to God, I Googled it and it pulls up Urban Dictionary, a stupid Frenchman who is a Boy Scout and has sex with a moose.
What?
So how do you spell patois?
P-A-T-O-I-S. Dave, leave all of this.
O-I-S. Okay.
Yeah. Now, what's the definition that comes up?
The dialect of the common people of a region, differing in various respects from the standard language of the rest of the country. Patois.
So, like I said, the vibes are terrible.
I don't know what's worse, there or here on the podcast.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question that we'll have to dissect in another podcast. I'll start with Mo as Jake catches up. Mo, is Dallas in trouble? Like Dallas going into Sunday's game outside looking in at the play-in tournament. That's how far they've fallen. Now they could win 2 games in a row and like be in the 6th seed, I think, right? Like that's just where the standings are. But man, like there are reports that Luka's not happy. J Kidd is pissed. Like this is not looking good.
It's not reports that Luka isn't happy. Luka literally said, "I'm not happy."
No, like he said it, but like there are reports more like deeper than that. Yeah,
he was unhappy.
But he was like, "Remember when I used to smile, guys? Remember?" Like I don't do that.
You're right. Yeah,
hard to smile when you're constantly bitching at the refs.
That's true.
I think it's a disaster.
But he used to smile while bitching. He actually,
that's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Jay. The disaster has started since they made the trade. Like, let's just be honest. They gave away defensive depth. They brought in Kyrie. It's just the two of them. Those guys have also not been on the court a lot. Some games Luka's out, some games Kyrie's out. It's becoming an issue for them. I think
they're 3-7 when they play together too. But when they're on the court together, well, I should check the numbers. But I think the results were good. It's just you split them up and it's bad.
Yeah, but they just weren't simply winning games, and it's playing out in a absolute disaster. The home crowd's booing Kyrie. You know, you're having all sorts of issues. This thing's a dumpster fire, and I just wonder if they kind of have buyer's remorse. I know they felt like they had to make a swing at that trade deadline, and they made a big swing. It was just a hell of a risk, and I think now they're wondering if it's like maybe we should have just kind of stayed solid and figure it out in the offseason.
They didn't just lose to the Hornets. They lost to the Hornets with like nobody available. Like they lost to the Hornets.
By the way,
with
they're losing
half
to the
their
Hornets
roster.
now.
They lost to the Hornets with Svi Mihalik in the starting lineup.
They're still losing.
They lost.
It is in the first quarter right now. It is 20-10.
Svi can shoot. I was sure Svi was going to be a player when he was younger.
Yeah, he's white. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh no. Oh, sorry.
Svi can shoot.
Is that out loud?
Svi can shoot.
Was that out loud?
Svi can shoot.
I take it back.
I thought James Bouknight was going to be good too, but he can't even get minutes when they're this shorthanded.
Yeah, he's bad, man. But no, we're not talking about the Hornets. We're talking about the Mavs. Jay, do you think there's a chance of them salvage? Like, if they get into the play-in tournament, which I can't even believe I'm asking at this point. Like, if they get into the play-in tournament, but if they get into the play-in tournament, can they really be dangerous, or is this just like the clock's ticking and this is done?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think they can be super dangerous. Luka would have a chance against the Kings because I don't think they could possibly stop him. He would score or create a good bucket on every time down. But like at this point, their defensive integrity is 0. They have very few lineups that they trust. Like Luka is clearly not having a good time out there and admitting to that, acknowledging it. And I don't think it's all to blame on Kyrie, but he's not the guy you bring in to like help make people happy around him.
You mean he's not a stabilizing force? I totally thought he was a stabilizing force when you brought him in.
And so like there's just a lot going on in Dallas. None of it is good. I think they're realizing now probably that they're still not even close to good enough with Kyrie on the roster, which is probably something that most of us anticipated as soon as they traded for him and gave up what they did to get him. This is a team that never had good defenders in the first place, gave up really one of the only good defenders they had in Dorian Finney-Smith to get Kyrie. And so when you downgrade a defense that was never good in the first place this season, you wipe away everything that made you great last year. Last year, they were great because they had a really good freaking defense and they had Luka and they had Jalen Brunson as their second guy.
Mm-hmm.
And losing Jalen Brunson started this because had they just signed him to an extension when they could have, like that would have wiped away a lot of these issues. They would have been able to hold on to their defense. They wouldn't have had to go after Christian Wood. who's put them in a dilemma, who's never gained Jason Kidd's trust.
Nor should he. He's not good. He's not a good team player.
Yeah, and so they're a long way away, even with Kyrie, from being good, and they're a month away from maybe having Kyrie play his last game with the organization before he leaves somewhere else.
I mean, like,
he cannot be sitting there like, man, this is a great situation for me. This is awesome. This is somewhere I really want to stay.
Right.
Like Luka's miserable. The team is losing. And he's a guy who has been in some great situations, been like, I need to get out of here. And now he's in Dallas where things are burning down.
Maybe he likes the chaos. Maybe that's, I mean,
but he's like the Joker, man. He likes to burn the place down and then laugh as he leaves.
Yeah.
Like that's what he does.
But I mean, the crazy thing though, like, I actually think their chances of retaining Kyrie are super high because they can give him a 4-year max, right? Like, I think if Kyrie's going to leave, I would put my money more on like Kyrie re-signing for the 4-year max, because Dallas like, hey, we need to keep you. We can't have made this trade and then lose you, months later. And then like maybe halfway through next season, he's like, all right, I'd like a trade. Yeah, I could see that happening more than him just straight up walking, but that's also because of like the cap space situation around the league. And I might be wrong on that, but that's just my assumption.
I mean, there's a lot of hope on maybe there's a sign and trade out there. I don't know who's going to be really willing to go after Kyrie again after all of this. Like, at a certain point, you got to keep looking at his track record. The way Jay said it, it's like he comes in and just burns places down. And I think that's one of the issues with them.
I don't know that this is his fault, though.
This isn't his fault. I'm not putting this on him in that sense, but it's just he's not a stabilizing force just in general. And I think it was a miscalculation from the Mavs on making this trade in the first place. I think that's really the mistake that they made. And now they've put them up against it in trying to figure out what they're going to do going forward after this offseason. Because, all right, you bring Kyrie in, that's probably going to eat up all your cap space, whatever you have for this season.
Yeah, that flexibility is gone.
You need to start adding defenders around this team. And, the market for Christian Wood isn't going to be all that high.
You don't have picks to do it with, like, yeah.
You've put yourself in such a difficult position in terms of building the team going forward. Like, this is a dangerous game that they're playing right now. And it kind of sucks because it's fun to have Luka out there.
Could it be like, look, the record is not good with them. They've played going into today's game, because our recording will be done before that game is going into today's game, 10 games together, 3-7 in those games. Right. But in the 260 minutes they've played on the court together, they are a plus 5.6 per 100 possessions. They're scoring at 119.9 points per 100 possessions, which is insane in terms of production. Like, I wonder if you're Dallas, can you legitimately talk yourself into and not look foolish of like, look, if these guys are together, it's really good, and we just have to find role players to put around them.
But that's the other part of bringing in Kyrie, is that he's not always available.
Wait, he's not?
This is not a guy who plays 82 games or close to it. Even before he had the vaccine stuff.
He's always hurt.
That went on Brooklyn. He's always been hurt. The Celtics, when they brought him in, they knew he was going to miss a chunk of every season, and that was before, again, like, he had season-ending surgery, and so that he's had a long injury history. It's 30-12 Charlotte. My goodness.
Already in the first. And just so you guys know, Kyrie and Luka are playing in this game.
They're playing.
I had to go look. I was like, are they sitting out?
Not
like,
well.
This is part of the problem too, and this isn't.
It's going to also sound super funny if they come back and destroy the Hornets the rest of this game.
No, you know what? I don't care. You should never be down 30-12 against the Hornets, who don't even have all of their guys
playing for the Hornets in this game.
Like, this is the point. You guys already won.
I will say, Kai Jones is no joke.
Kai Jones, I like.
Yeah,
I like Kai Jones. Yeah.
So that's a 30-12 difference.
Oh, he's a leaper, man. He's a leaper with no real purpose.
That man can fly.
Oh, he can fly big time.
I mean, the Mavs
cool in the Hornets jersey too.
Their lineup right now is Svi Mihalik, Bryce McGowan, JT Thor, Teo Maledon, and Kai Jones.
Oh, I don't
like what a lineup. What a lineup.
That's a bad lineup. Oh my god.
I don't even care if they come back.
Yeah, if they come back and win, it's still a loss.
That would not be a good summer league lineup. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
I don't know.
We've seen some really bad summer league. We've seen some really bad summer league lineups, Dave. Come on.
Dave. Dave. That's disrespectful.
You just call him Dave.
My bad.
You thought it was Nerder? Shit ain't Friday. You just complimented that man according to Dave.
Per Dave, that's a compliment.
Yeah, per Dave. Right, sources close to Dave DeFore say that's a compliment.
Let's keep this show on the road.
Yeah, all right. Let's keep it moving, guys. I'll just say it, even though it's before the game starts. It's before we actually know. LeBron James came back on Sunday. I just believe it. I don't think LeBron lets it get out there that he's questionable and that he's going to test before the game if he's not going to play before the game. I don't know if history's on my side. I'm just assuming here. So LeBron's back. Kevin Durant is supposed to be back on Wednesday against the Wolves for the Suns. And so let's start with LeBron, the Lakers. Look, I'm not pretending that this is a bad idea in any way for him to come back, but it's not like plugging and playing KD into the Suns lineup, right? The entire ecosystem of the Lakers changes, and everyone, even Anthony Davis, has to change the way they play. So they're lucky. They've got 2 games against the Bulls. I think they've got.
You sound like Jay Williams. Jay Williams was like,
No.
"How is LeBron going to come back?" Now that
No, it's not how.
No. That wasn't what he was saying. He was saying, "How can you bring LeBron?
How can you bring him back?
When
No,
Austin
you have.
Reeves is
Yeah,
cooking?"
I'm not Jay Williams in this thing. This isn't for ratings. I'm saying, of course, you have to bring him back. I just don't know that it's an easy, seamless implementation because you do have to change the way. Which I'll admit, I did not see the Lakers even coming close to playing this way when LeBron went down.
They have
played incredible
fabric.
basketball. Darvin Ham's good, man. I don't know what Lakers fans are complaining about. Darvin Ham's good.
Oh, because they don't know what they're talking about. The honest truth is they've actually been competing all season long. They just didn't have a good enough roster for most of the season. Yeah. Now you have a competent roster, and they're continuing to compete. Listen, give AD a ton of credit. He had really stepped up when LeBron was out and played awesome with all of that. Reeves has been really good. You're getting every night a different guy contributing. Some nights it's D'Angelo Russell, some nights it's Vando, some nights it's Malik Beasley.
It's always Vando, man. Vando's good. I try to tell everybody. Dave and I try to tell everybody, man. Vando is legit.
But but to your point, Zach, it isn't a plug and play situation with LeBron because LeBron he's not a guy that just runs offense. He is the offense. He creates so much with everything that goes into it. So now guys that have gotten used to just having the ball in their hands and cooking and running and cutting and things like that now end up kind of standing and watching. It's sort of the problem they got to figure out when he comes back.
Yeah, their schedule is easy though over the next 4 games. Like if you're I think they play Minnesota in there. Like if you were going to do it, this would be the time to do it because look, I don't know.
37-37 is any game easy for them.
It's fair. It's the Bulls though. Come on, no one. Although Patrick Beverly did do some Charmin ad for whatever for social media. I'm like, all right, buddy, you calm down, Dylan Brooks Jr. You can't do we got to stop this. All right?
Is he mad that Dylan Brooks came along because he's like that was my shtick?
Nothing wrong with being Dylan Brooks Jr.
With KD coming back for the Suns. I'm done talking to Jay/Dave. Mo, with KD coming back for the Suns, that is an easy plug and play, but with him, you still have to worry about re-injury, right? Because look, we talked about Kyrie and everything. I mean, we should mention this with LeBron too, but injuries have been a problem for years now with those two, with LeBron and KD. And for some reason, I don't worry about it as much with LeBron. Maybe that's just the first 17 years of his career, kind of shaping my opinion of that. But KD, he misses some time, and it was such a freak accident. I just worry about that.
So I'm the other way around. I'm actually more worried about LeBron coming back than KD. Think back to when LeBron twisted his ankle the year they got knocked out by the Suns late in the season.
Yeah, 2 years
and he
ago,
came back, and he really wasn't the same. And you could tell he kind of came back quickly, had to come back, season was ending. KD tends to return constantly and ready to roll when he comes back. And that was such a freak incident in that wet spot situation. Now, injury is always going to be a concern, right? There's definitely a possibility he could re-injure it again and aggravate it, all that fun stuff. But I just think I'm more worried about it for LeBron than KD. I think with KD and with the Suns, they just need him to get on the court so they can figure out who the hell the fifth guy is.
Oh yeah. And how do we defend with this group? What's the balance going to be between Booker and Durant in crunch time? there are a lot of questions. It's probably going to be 7 games.
I'll tell you
left,
what it should
right?
be. Give the ball to KD. Get the fuck out of the way.
No
offense to Devin Booker. This is Kevin Durant.
I don't think that's a concern. I actually don't think the crunch time stuff's really the concern.
I think Book kind of fills in where he needs to be in that. Like he did that last year with Chris Paul, like quite a bit. Like
and KD gives up the ball so quickly when he gets doubled that like Book's going to get to attack on that. And that's going to be. I'm not worried about their crunch time.
Yeah, that's murder.
Your defense is what you said.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. Like it should be a great fit. It should be pretty seamless. All of that. But when you have to just hop right into the playoffs and play teams
you're right.
at a super high level, like you're not figuring out in a regular season how to tweak things and operate. It's like you have to be immediately at the highest level. And that's where it could be tough, especially because their supporting cast just isn't glorious.
Yeah, but
there aren't many studs in that supporting
cast. They started
cast.
playing TJ Warren again, and like I'm here, like TJ Warren should be getting minutes on this team.
Yeah, especially coming off the bench. I think so too, Zach. I'm with you. But I got a question for you guys. Like, who in the West are you really kind of everybody's got shit up in the air. Like, who has their shit together? Who do you trust in the West? Like,
Denver has it together the most, right? I mean, the Kings have it together just in the sense that they know what they are.
Right.
It's a horrible defensive team that is historically great offensively. Like, it's just
so then after that, the Grizzlies without their big guys really do lose a lot of that muscle that really kind of helped push them in offense. You look at the Clippers, no Paul George. We don't know when he's coming back. They hope by the time the playoffs begin, but who knows what they're doing. And they weren't that great to start with. Well, the Warriors can't win a game on the road.
I'm starting to trust the Warriors again. I'm starting to do it. I don't want to do it.
Oh no, don't do it. No, make them prove it. They are not playing like champs.
Yes,
don't do it.
Yes, they are.
What do you mean? Yes, they are. Because they beat a Mavs team that didn't know it wasn't their ball when they took the ball out of bounds. Like, what are we doing here?
The Warriors.
Look, it's been said 1,000 times. You cannot complain about 2 points with 13 minutes left in the game. All right, like
you took the lead in crunch time and you blew it. Like, what are we doing?
I'm just saying, the Warriors are starting to compete at a high level again. Draymond Green, his defense is on point right now.
Is anybody else's?
I'm a little nervous that Andrew Wiggins is still like,
what he's dealing with, he's dealing with,
Well, yeah, and that's a lot more important than basketball based on everything the Warriors have said, but they're going to need him. But Kuminga is just a wow. Kuminga's going to be so good. Every time I watch Kuminga,
he will be,
it's like that dude is already, when he's locked in, a really good defender. And he's just such a ridiculously fluid athlete. Like, few guys in the world are as fluid an athlete as he is, with the power, the speed, the quickness, the change of directions. Like, he has all of it. He just moves
crazy
different.
athletic. Yeah. Let me ask both of you this, like, because Steve Kerr had this brought to him.
And Gary Payton's coming back. He
ain't played in months. Like, let's relax. Like, calm down.
He's playing a year, if we're being honest.
He's like KD, seamless fit.
Not
meaning that they don't pass him the ball though. Like, what's the seamless fit? Is he just stands on the court?
I just wanted to throw him in the KD sentence to see how you guys would react to that.
No, that was great. That's fantastic.
Still not even the dumbest thing you said today.
You called me Dave.
Do you
and I don't feel bad.
Well, it's a compliment, sources say. Do you buy the idea that you can't play Kuminga, Draymond, and Looney together because of spacing issues? Or do you kind of just like use your strengths in that and just see what you can iron out?
They're such a like inverted team almost, where I don't really worry about spacing with the Warriors, because the two guys who you really want to score the most are just going to be spacing the court out to
and moving constantly, right?
Yeah. Right. And so I never have the same spacing concerns with them. You think back even to their glory years, and it was like Bogut, Iguodala, Livingston, like guys who, and granted, those are three like super smart players, and we're not talking about that same level of intelligence when we're talking about Jonathan Kuminga at age 20 or whatever he is right now. But I just don't worry about spacing with them in the same way that I would about a normal offense.
Yeah, I don't think that's something I got to be concerned about. They need defense. And at that point, like, listen, Curry will find the shots if he's on the court with those guys, right? Clay will find the shots if they're on the court together.
And teams still stupidly play off Draymond like he's going to shoot the ball. And
I can't understand. We're in like what, year 7 or 8 of all these post splits, and just they get it every time. 4 or 5 times a game.
All he has to do is mildly get one of these guys on his hip, and it's a dribble handoff into a historically great shooter getting the ball. Like wide open.
Just like, come on.
It's like, quit playing it. You're so dumb. Quit playing off it. Like, it's just so dumb. He's not going to shoot the ball. He's just not. Like, maybe twice a game. Yeah, okay, we're 2 possessions a game. Rest of it, you're screwing yourselves. Speaking of screwing ourselves, it's that time of the week again where Jay King, your King's Minute, begins now.
I just want to use this minute to just thank Mike Brown for creating such a beautiful offense. Like, I was able to watch them in Sacramento, and it was just a glorious thing. I was in the building, and they got waxed, but it was okay. It was okay. They were playing fifth game in 7 nights, back to back, all that. They were tired, they were gassed, but the pace that they play with, the speed that they make every cut, every dribble handoff, every Fox run out. It's like, it's crazy fast, and it's so much to deal with. And the level at which they execute is just so beautiful. And I don't trust them at all in the playoffs. Not even a little bit. I think they'll probably be first round fodder for someone that has a much better defense.
And time. That is the Jay King's Minute.
But they
this
are
week
beautiful.
Presented by
They're
nobody.
beautiful.
How is this not sponsored yet by
like
King's Hawaiian Rolls? Make sure you're
Sacramento.
subscribed to the Bounce, the essential NBA newsletter, free from The Athletic. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page where you can watch Jay King lose his mind and look up the word patois at any given moment. And you can watch
what came up though.
No, actually, I cannot.
I have questions.
I got a lot of questions that we can maybe examine at another time. Make sure you're checking out One Mo Thing on the old social medias. It is the best breakdown you're going to get from someone not named Steve Jones. For Mo Dakhil, for Jay King, I'm Zach Harper. Thanks to Dave DuFour for producing. Such an unnecessary thing for me to do there. Go see John Wick 4. And go Aztecs. Those cheating ass Creighton, whatever their mascots are. I know the game's over by this time.
The Blue Jays.
Who cares?
Blue Jays.
They're about to have the Blues, even though you're listening to this after. We're in the Final Four. And if we're not, it's because they cheated. And it's not because San Diego State looks like a bunch of football players playing intramurals for the first time. Keep it locked on The Athletic.